Okay, firstly, before we begin, let's get the obvious out of the way. I'm currently sitting in a flat in Valencia. So the first reason you shouldn't move to Madrid is because I'm not there. Okay, all jokes aside, these reasons are food for thought and are not reasons I left Madrid. I lived there for 6 years and feel I can speak with a good amount of experience to give you a brutally honest take on why you shouldn't move to Madrid in 2025. If you haven't already, go back and watch my video explaining why you should move to Madrid. As with anything, there are positives and negatives to consider. So without any further ado, let's focus on the negatives. Now I say it out loud, that sounds really weird. Let's focus on the negatives. Anyway, smaller city, smaller population. Now, this is a difficult one to talk about if you are not from London. Anyone from any other British city could say Madrid certainly is a big city. However, it is much smaller than London at approximately 604.3 square kilometers compared with London at 1,572 square kilometers. The population is also much smaller too, with Madrid at around 3.2 million inhabitants compared to London's approximate 9 million inhabitants. You could also see this as a positive, however, because technically there is more space per person. I did the calculations here, and London has approximately 174.67 meters squared per person, and Madrid has approximately 189.78 meters squared per person. So actually Madrid only marginally has more space per person. Of course, this statistics is assuming that everyone is evenly distributed, which is not a fair reflection when you have some people living in tiny one-bed flats and others living in gigantic mansions, but still interesting to think about. Cultural adaptation. While Madrid boasts a rich culture, it also comes with a distinct way of life that can take some getting used to. The cultural rhythms like the late night dinners and afternoon siestas might feel disorientating at first. If you thrive on a more structured daily routine, the Spanish lifestyle might throw you off. As humans, I believe we should always be looking to learn and challenge ourselves, and in this case, adapting and learning about a new culture by immersing yourself in it is a fantastic experience. However, it's not easy, hence why I'm mentioning it here. Over-reliance on Spanish. Kind of related to what I was saying in the previous point, we should challenge ourselves, but it can be very difficult to integrate if you do not speak Spanish. You might find it challenging to fully integrate into local life, and while many people in the city centre speak English, the deep social interactions often require a good grasp of the language. This can lead to feelings of isolation if you can't connect with locals on a more personal level. Even to this day, I struggle with this one. However, the learning journey is so worth it and opens your eyes to new and interesting ways of thinking, communicating and learning about others from different walks of life. Heat waves and seasonal changes. For those that know me already, I'm weird and absolutely love the summer here in Spain. But let's try not to glorify this too much. It's incredibly dangerous, and on a few occasions I've got myself badly burned, suffered from heat stroke, and learned to be more mindful of staying hydrated, staying out of the sun at peak times, and listening to my body when it becomes too much. Madrid's summer can be brutally hot, with temperatures soaring into the 40s. That's like 100 Fahrenheit for my American friends. If you're not a fan of sweltering heat, this can be a significant downside. Winters can also be dry and chilly, lacking the snow and cozy vibes you might be used to in other cities. If you're someone who enjoys seasonal changes in climate, Madrid's extremes might be a tough sell. Bureaucratic hurdles. Spain's bureaucracy can be frustratingly slow and complicated. If you're moving from a more streamlined system, such as literally anywhere else in Europe, be prepared for some serious paperwork and red tape. The process for things like residency permits and healthcare can feel cumbersome and can be a source of stress for many newcomers and veterans alike. I often go to a government meeting for paperwork or healthcare with absolutely no expectation of getting what I'm looking for, to avoid the disappointment when they inevitably say, sorry, but you don't have this specific piece of paper, or the fee paid, or you are in the wrong office. That way, when I have to rebook, it just feels like part of the process. Just let it go, nothing is going to change. And if you dare complain, people will tell you, well, if you don't like it here, go back to your own country. Genuinely, the number of times I've heard that, it's so aggravating. But anyway, Pace of life. While many people love the laid-back lifestyle of Madrid, it can also feel lethargic if you're used to a fast-paced environment. The emphasis on leisure can clash with your work ethic, making it difficult to adapt. If you thrive on constant activity and a busy schedule, Madrid's slower pace may not be the right fit for you. Expat bubble. Madrid has a vibrant expat community, but this can sometimes create a bubble where locals and expats don't mingle as much as you might hope. If you're looking for authentic cultural immersion, you may need to actively seek out opportunities to connect with locals rather than getting swept up in expat circles. My recommendation here would be to do some research into the areas where you're looking to move. In my case, I lived many years in Cuatro Caminos and Peña Grande, knowing that these regions were not so popular with expats. My logic being I wanted to fully immerse myself in the culture and language. Was it difficult? Yes, but it was worth it. As a result of this decision, I have met some wonderful people along the way, experienced a lot, and appreciated people who are far more different from myself. Political climate. Spain's political situation isn't so different from the UK. I believe most people just want to get along, but where there is politics, so literally everywhere, extremes will exist. With rising tensions in some parts of the country and varying opinions on issues like Catalan independence, it might lead to uncomfortable discussions or even a feeling of instability. I wouldn't worry too much about it, but my preferred approach is to not get involved, even though sometimes it's difficult not to. Thank you so much for watching this week's video. I hope I haven't discouraged you from moving to this wonderful city, but these are the things to definitely consider before making the decision to move. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.